Good morning. Good morning, Carol. How are you doing this wonderful morning?
I'm doing very well, thanks. And how are you, Susan?
I'm doing excellent. Carol, I would love to hear a little bit about yourself and your journey so any of the viewers that watch this video can kind of get an idea of what industry you're in.
Okay, so I am a real estate agent, and specifically I have niche marketed myself to really define my business and to make my business work more for me and be more enjoyable, and also work with like-minded people. So I'm a beach realtor, so I do all the lakeside real estate along any of the Ontario lakes. So I'm very specialized now. So yeah, office in Port Stanley and lots of good stuff on the go.
You weren't always in this niche of being a beach realtor in Port Stanley, Ontario. So how did you get from I want to be a realtor to I now am a niche realtor in Port Stanley?
Okay, good question. So through the process, we always figure out how to evolve ourselves with our job. What do we love? What do we don't want to, don't love? And so we always notice that being passionate about what we do drives us to be better and more productive in our lives. So for me, just selling just the average house out there, it wasn't, after years of being in the business, it wasn't exciting anymore. I'm sort of faced with what is the next phase of my career? Do I want to continue on to do this? How can I make my life better? And with real estate, it's a 24/7 job. You are always working, and it sometimes takes over your life a little bit, which is fine. We're always happy to do that. But how can you make your life work for you better? Well, I'm a beach bum extraordinaire, love the beach. When I sold my first beach house, I was like, yeah, okay, this is where I want to go. And how can I make it really work for myself? So that's the direction that I took, is finding the passion, making it work for me. And, where would I like to spend my day every day? Yeah, why not on the beach? So now I'm working with like-minded people, and it's really come together. So I found what works for me to make me happy in my personal life as well as my professional life.
And I take it that working with like-minded people, this is part of the key to continuing to have your passion for real estate, as well as taking your business from what it was to what you want it to be.
Very much, yes. So it's been more of an exciting journey, and certainly, I've built more of a passion for myself. I can bring that forward with my clients. And then when you really specify yourself and do a specialty, you really have more of a focus on where you're going, who you're marketing to, what are you doing, and then business sort of just really comes together. And then you can throw the fun back into it once you've figured that out. So yeah, definitely, it's completely changed everything.
And how long did it take for you to develop this business into such a wonderful niche that you've got? Has it been an overnight success? Has it been a couple of years?
Yeah, so it has been a couple of years in the making. I had to sort of really do my research, because a lot of doing real estate is knowing your specific area. So how do you do everything all in Ontario and be the best at it? So I really had to go in and do my research as far as, what do I know about the bodies of water? What do my clients want me to know? So it took a lot of research, and it took me a lot of traveling around Ontario and getting to know Ontario and our waterways very, very well. So I had to sort of start off on it almost on a personal journey, which was exciting. It's nothing wrong with, packing your paddleboard on top of your SUV and getting out there and adding a little business with the stuff that you like to do. So there was a lot of research. There was a lot of extra education that I had to do for myself, as well as research and join in with other groups to do it. So it did take a couple of years to get firm on that. And then, just deciding, where do I want an office? Where do I want to specialize in those kinds of things as well? And figuring out how to really make it work for myself. So yeah, it's not an overnight, but once I really figured it all out, I did my research, I prepared myself, I opened my office in May of 2017, and I had my best year yet. So then it became almost a feel of overnight success, but it was a bit of a journey to get there. But once it was done, it took off very quickly.
So the key steps then would include things like research. If somebody else was looking at doing a niche in their own business, whether it's real estate or it's something else, research sounds like it was really, really important. And I love what you just said. I wanted to know what my customers wanted me to know.
Yes, and that was the whole part of it. I mean, it was, I think a lot of us like to put our own, points of view onto everything. And it wasn't about what I needed to know for myself and what I wanted. Every client is a very different person. They have different needs, they have different wants, and different reasons for even wanting to move to the lake. What is it in their lives that they are changing? So yeah, so in any business, it doesn't matter what it is. If you are going to specialize and you are going to put yourself in that particular market, there is so much extra research to do on it to get yourself there to be a specialist in the area, and just to make sure that customer service and what your clients want is the key to it all. And I think because I can listen to somebody and say, okay, this is what they want, then I can go after it and get it for them very successfully.
And so customer service and understanding the mind of your own customer, very important. I would assume that that's far more important when you want to do a niche than when you're, say, just in a large city and everybody could be your potential client as they walk through the door.
That's correct. Yeah, I think when you are not specialized, I think becomes almost a cold service. It's more of a, your clients are numbers, and it's one in, one out, one in, who's the next, and everybody's so busy on prospecting and getting those clients just to come in the door. They're not thinking about long-term business and really specializing, caring about the people that you're working with, understanding all of their needs and their wants. They've come to you and really they're looking for somebody to guide them through any process in business. And I think customer service sort of gone to the wayside a lot in big business. So putting that personal customer service, really stopping and listening and making sure you are focused on solely what they want and going after and getting them what they want. You get repeat business. Your referrals are so much better because now, obviously you've done a good job for them. They're going to share you with your friends. You enjoy the experience yourself as a business person. You'll enjoy working with their friends as well. And again, that's all, forming that, working with like-minded people, but you have to set that stage for it as well. So if you give them good business, they will certainly give it back.
Nice. A lot of people I talk to, they tend to define their ideal customer. Do you do the same thing?
I do, to an extent. Certainly my customer is going to be very, beach focused. Most of the time, they're out there to change their lives in some way, leave the city, come out and form a different life. So yeah, it does sort of tend to go in that direction.
Okay. So if anybody's watching this right now and they're looking to develop a niche, is there anything in particular in the way of questions that they might want to ask themselves that you found useful?
Yeah, definitely. I think there is a lot of soul searching that has to go on. Don't just pick any niche because you think it's going to be the next wave of what's a fad and what's going to be big and great. Following fads, they last such a small time period. Stop chasing the dream. Figure out what the dream actually is for yourself. So yeah, a lot of questions that I ask myself. If there's a house that I wanted to go in, what would be my dream house that I would want to sell? What is going to stick in my mind and give me that excitement to get up every single morning and go sell that one particular house? And we can do that with any business. So figure out what it is that is your excitement to get you out the door in the morning. That's part of it. So it was all about passion, really understanding who you are as a human being and how your job can actually merge with your life so that it's not running your life, but you are now running everything else. And you feel like you've got so much more control and that happiness will start to set in as well. So asking those questions, you know, and they are really hard because it's really hard to look within ourselves and go, I don't know, what do I really love? You know, I should have a 9-to-5 job. I should be doing this. Stop listening to all the, you know, I shoulds and everybody else out in the universe, and really connect with what it is you passionately want to do with yourself. What do you love? And for me, I just, you know, I love the beach. I love the lake. It's great. I can talk about it all day long. So with that being said, you know, it's great. Putting your toes in the sand while you're showing a house is fabulous. And it doesn't matter if it's a big house or a small house. I'm really passionate about it. So that just forges it on. So you really do need to do that soul searching.
Could certainly see the passion and the authenticity in everything that is coming across, which is great. That's part of the niche strategy, right?
It really is. When you can really talk and understand about what you're doing and what you love and narrow it down, because we all love a lot of different things, but if you can choose that one thing that really just drives you, yes, you're very, very focused, and there's not a lot of other what ifs floating around in the universe out there or surrounding you. You stop questioning everything. So yeah, very, very specific, figuring it out does drive that passion. Then yeah, you can talk for days about it. And that's half of it, you know, half the fun is making your clients excited about what they're doing too, because now they've figured out, okay, I want to move to the beach. All right. You know, all right. And then you got to drag out the rest of it and figure it out. What is their passion, and really get excited with them. That's what we all want in life, to be excited, to be happy, just to enjoy it all.
That vision, right?
That's right. Exactly.
And so you spend that time then, because you know the beach that you're in, you know that niche, you know the area, your clients come to you and you're able to sit there and take out, and you just said it, they say they want to come to the beach, but now I've got to dig a little deeper and understand why. What's their vision? What's driving this change?
That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we can all, you know, sort of, they found out that one little question and said, okay, where do I want to live? You know, what is that next stage of life? How do I want to change my life? They get that far, but then there's so much more that goes with changing that whole vision, even for them. And because now I've done the journey myself, you know, I don't just walk the walk, talk, you know, you got to do it. I myself have, you know, moved out of the city, started a whole different life for myself. And because it was such a mental, emotional, exciting, but nerve-wracking decision, and hoping that I'm doing it all right. And, you know, everybody's sort of going through the same thing, you know, is this decision correct? Oh my goodness, you know, we can sometimes overthink it too. So because that journey happened for me, I can now understand all the emotions, the excitement, the stress, the wonder of it all, and then help them narrow it down and ask those specific questions. You know, I mean, a beach just isn't a beach to everybody. We all have specific things we want in our life, you know. Do you want to be on the beach? Do you want to be boating? Do you want to do whatever? So in any career, there are a lot of other variables that go with that one thing. And so as long as we are very aware of all the different things in that one thing, it really helps us ask those questions, be specific, and get them through the journey. And that at the end of the day is, you know, it's a fun process to go with it with each client, and everyone is different. And so we have to keep that in mind. They're not just numbers. Everybody is different. And continuing that journey with them is important.
Authenticity.
That's correct. Yeah.
And integrity and adding value.
That's right. And that's exactly what it is. So when you niche market yourself, you've added value. They've come to you because you have a specific gift to help them along. And there is that added value in there. And, you know, you don't get questioned throughout all of that. You know, oh, just another realtor. Oh, dime a dozen. Ah, you guys make too much. You know, there's all of those things out in the business world. And, you know, these are all the things that you overcome. But when you are specifically given a gift that you can give somebody else, those questions don't happen. Business is a lot easier. It's straightforward. They see the value in you as a human being, as a business person, And that's really, you know, being around a lot of like-minded people. You can have respect for one another because they understand you've taken the time to do the journey, and they can see it. You know, you can't falsify this.
Yeah.
You know, once you do it, you got to stick in there and get it done. And yeah, they'll understand that you do get it.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today, Carol. Really do appreciate it, for talking to us about niche strategies.
My pleasure.